The Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Oh, I do apologize for the way, my people. Good morning, Big Ragoos. How you feeling over there in Florida?
I'm doing good, man. It's another bright and sunny, shiny day, and sometimes the dog shines on the sun shines on a dog's ass. Not so much yesterday. My college picks weren't so great, and last week, I got to tell you, I had one winner to my alma mater here. That was about it. You know what I'm saying? And all the others were L's. So you get those bumpy spots. But hey, I'm here to live another day, do another show with you, and I'm feeling pretty damn good. How about you?
I'm feeling awesome, man. But same as you last week, man. 0-3 last week.
Wow.
I hate to say I probably kind of needed that because I need to, rethink some ways that I do some things and put a little more pressure on some places and learn how to finesse some things. So I got my work done early this week. I put out some early plays, but I put out some plays this morning as well. But yeah, man, I'm ready to have a good time again. I kind of slowed it down last week because I had a small feeling it was a weird week, and it sure was a weird week, not only in college but also in NFL. And when you go back and look at a bet, you're like, hey, it wasn't my capping. If I had to do it over again, I'd do the same exact thing. And games just might have got away from you. It's just when you go back and you say, oh, I missed that, I missed this, how could I ever, and those type of stuffs like that. That's when you need to take another look at it. But yeah,
it happens. I mean, sometimes you get the right cap and the result doesn't work out the same way. So you that happens in this industry a lot. So that's why when you can pick 57%, high 50s, you're a successful gambler, professional in this business. And anybody tells you different, they're full of shit.
Tell me about it. But yeah, we're getting deep in the season. Like I was saying, that's a classic right there, man. It's a classic.
It's an old school right there, brother. You got to have the job.
Show. Well, I got the brand new. Just to have
I like that.
We're giving these out at the Breeders' Cup for all my people out here. If you're coming to the Breeders' Cup, let me know in the DM or however, comment on the show, and we get you in there so we can get you banged out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Shout out to all those dudes that's coming out here. Razor Sharp, K. Reed, Snizzle's gonna be down in the West Coast, and they're gonna have a great time. But unfortunately, I'm not gonna be there.
I won't be there either, but I will be with some friends close by. AT NC 33 is in the house, and our guys back east from the Carolinas. I'll be visiting with them next week out in Nevada. So, and it's Kelly's 60th birthday. So, like I say, happy wife, happy life, and we'll be hooking up with our guys, via Twitter and some of the show stuff we'll be doing too at the same time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Give a quick shout out to the chat real quick before we get things going. My man Teeson here, Don Play, Joey Herb, Nasty Nate, Team Who-Bangin is in here, Daryl, and we already mentioned my guy AT33NC, and I'm ready to have some fun. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest. I don't even think he's a guest anymore because
he's a regular, man. No guest.
He's a regular, but he's our young blood, though. He's our young blood. We always got to keep some guys that we feel are great cappers and ready to hang out with the boss and the sauce. So it ain't never all about just us, man. It's about everybody, man. That's what we do here. But let me bring my guy Wine Time in. Wine Time, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, boys? How we doing today? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday,
like I said before we got on screen, I feel like a kid on Christmas morning waking up, college football. I'm stoked for today. Stoked to be here with you guys to break down some college football again, man. It's been a blast every week. I get excited every Saturday morning for this, so let's do it.
There it is there. And y'all see my man Weinstein still living off the grid, man. You know, way out somewhere in the middle of nowhere. He got his whole solar thing set up and it's all good though, Weinstein.
Yeah, man, that would be pretty rad. No, I did the show last week in the car. I believed I went 3-1 on the show. Had a pretty good week, so I was like, might as well come back out here today. The lighting looks a little good too, so let's do it.
There you go, man. You know, Cappers are all of us got some little superstitions and stuff that we do, man. If you ain't never folded a ticket 3 times and put it in your wallet in some weird place, then you're not my kind of guy, buddy. But
That's true.
let's get the show rolling, man. Um, first things first, let's get it up here. First game on the board. Oklahoma, Kansas, 9 a.m. These lines are from early in the week when I get all the work done early. So things have changed. But it was -10. The over and under 65. They're gonna be at David Booth today in Kansas with some clouds, 49 degrees. But I don't know who got something on this game. Everybody or just me?
I don't know. I don't have nothing on it, but I'll give you an opinion on it. You know, I'm always good for an opinion. You know,
Go for it.
it's going to take every. Can't I'll be real brief on this one too. Uh, I like what Gabriel's done. You know, for Venables, that was a great. You know, probably one of the better transfer portal QBs in the system to run. It almost looks like the old Oklahoma offense with him in there, the way he runs it. You know what I mean? Just he's very capable. They had some. They played some nail biter games, but you know they're running the offense. Their defense is starting to step up a little bit. But Kansas coming in the other way. You know, I think Jones is still hurt. Correct? I don't think he's going today. But what's his name? Stepped up really, really nice. I think he had
Bean,
400
you
yards
talking about
rush.
Bean,
Bean,
J
yeah,
Bean?
Bean. He's very capable. There were some question marks about him running the offense, but I mean, he had a 400-yard game last week. It's going to take every bit of their offense to kind of keep pace with Oklahoma in this one. And I know the numbers doubles, which, you know, if Kansas plays like they did last week, I think they can hang around. And the total's probably a good look, too. I think we'll see a lot of fireworks in this spot here. So I would definitely lean. I would lean Kansas, believe it or not, and maybe a small look to the over. But yeah, I think 10 points is good for Kansas if Bean has a game he had last week. That's a big if though.
Mhm. Well, I thought I was ahead of the class and was doing my homework and was fighting everything, but this player has become rather popular amongst a lot of people. I see everybody has this play. Of course, right away, Oklahoma is appealing. I think Oklahoma right now just really plays ball at another level. Kansas, they kind of wishy washy. I mean, we love us some Lance, but you know sometimes he could give a weird effort on the field. Like just when you thought they were this, they kind of look like that. And
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels has been a deciding factor of that too, because when he usually in, they do a lot better. But this year they already knew to step up a little bit with Bean because he probably would have to play some for the year because Jaden Daniels, I guess he just always gets injured or he just runs too
yeah,
much or
true.
whatever. But regardless of which one is in there, um, the thing I see in hindsight with Oklahoma is that it's not so much their offense as it is their defense. Their defense is getting teams off the field, giving the offense more opportunities. Yet and still, the offense is like a balanced offense. They can pass and throw the ball, so they do good on offense. It makes them look like an offensive powerhouse, but it's their defense is the part that's so good. And Kansas, they haven't faced a lot of defenses like this. This will be a challenge for them today on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. So I was leaning Kansas all the way. And then my other kicker edge was, I'm not too fond of teams coming off of a bye. Like Kansas did come off a bye going into this game, but not getting hit for a week, not playing a full game, young kids, especially nowadays, it sometimes lead to a sloppy first half or sometimes a total upset, and it happens all the time. So I'm not too keen on that. So I was jumping on first half Oklahoma, which I seen it earlier in the week at 5.5 and grabbed it. And now it's went all the way down to 4.5, and I took it again. Oklahoma jumps out on these dudes early and went frequent too. So I went ahead and added the full game too because it came down as well. I got it at a 7.5. I should have bought the hook, but I just took it at the 7.5. I was with it at the 10 anyway. So this might be a blowout. This might be Oklahoma showing a footprint of why they are predicted to go to the college football playoff.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, I totally agree with both of you guys. What you said. I personally didn't play in this game. I'm going to lean towards a little more towards Ragu. You said it best about Bean, man. He really knows this offense. He controlled it really good last week. He's been in the system for a while. He knows the system. I think there's a reason why he didn't transfer is because he kind of knew Daniels was going to be up and down all year. Didn't really know whether or not he was going to be fully healthy to play. That being said, I'd lean more towards Kansas plus the 10. I didn't move on this game officially. Like both your breakdowns. You mentioned too, DJ, about Kansas coming off a bye. I don't know how much I like that. Oklahoma's coming off just barely squeaking out a victory. I don't think they want to barely squeak out a victory if they're going to try to make a college football playoff run because they've got the schedule to do it. I mean, they could go all the way to the Final Four if they can just win out. So I mean, if they put their foot on the gas, I expect it to stay on the gas in this one, but I'm off this game.
Yeah, I agree with the wine time on them going all the way if they went out because what's going to happen later on, and this is a whole different subject, but when Michigan plays Ohio State, unless there's shenanigans, which we've seen shenanigans in the ratings and the rankings and stuff, but yeah, I can see one team from each of the major conferences going on, and they'd probably be the look for the Big 12 right there. But hey, to DJ's point too, Oklahoma in the red zone, 33% scoring. Against, excuse me, 50%, but KU 100%. So if Oklahoma gets in the red zone, they're definitely putting points on the board here today, which they will get in the red zone, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just before we move forward, a little fun fact too. So Bean was the starter before Jaden Daniels, and Bean happened to be going into his senior year and decided to stay his senior year behind us. So and they supported this. Bean could just as well be the starter, but that's neither the less to say. The game's gonna be in the trenches and some more stuff. But let's keep it rolling to the next one. For the guy in the middle, is that a Florida State?
Hey, every time you see me on here, I got something FSU related on more than likely. I got a pretty big closet, so I try not to wear the same shit twice. But you might see me wear something again. It depends. We got a couple more weeks left, so I'm sure I have to break something out again. But yeah, today is the game, man. Today is not the game; it's a game for Florida State. Last week was, pretty high up on the ladder. That was probably the last. That Duke game, was slow going for them. Duke kind of dominated the trenches. With the run game, they were reeling off at one point like 10 yards per carry, which I was like shocked with that. And then and defensively, they kind of were moving. Had a little bit of line of scrimmage. Then the game changed in the third quarter. We seen the quarterback get hurt, Leonard get hurt for Duke, and that kind of then the wheels came off. Not that Leonard was doing anything because his QBR was like 50 and he had 0 touchdowns. So, but that kind of just changed the whole dynamic of the game. So, today they played Wake, was kind of been a thorn in their side for years gone by, and it still goes back to on Norvell's watch. Clausen, when he had Hartman, that was the only game last year that Florida State really got their ass kicked was against Duke. So I'm sure they got a little revenge on their mind, but then if you look ahead a little bit, they're playing Pittsburgh next week. And then after Pitt, they got that big Miami game. So it's not a look-ahead spot for Florida State. I think their defense is going to have this game in control. I don't think they have to do a whole lot on the offensive side to kind of, even though they're laying 20 and a half points, I think they come out of this game healthy. I don't think they want to risk a whole lot here, because like I said, next week could be a trouble spot for them, even though Pitt's not a very good team this year. But today, I think they just kind of get it done defensively. And anytime they can explode, because they have weapons all over the field, on the offensive side, with Travis and the wide receiver cores they have, Benson at running back. But I look for this game to be put on the back of the defense today because I think they want to really shut it down, get out of there healthy. So I look for a low scoring game effort. I think the number's pretty good. I can see him winning by 20, 21, 24 points, but I don't see Wake scoring a whole lot of points today. So I'm going to put myself on an under here with Florida State, 51.5, which I bet it early in the week. And that's down to 51 currently.
Yeah, I can see right now it's 50. I see a 53. Oh,
Is
no,
it
hold
that
me,
high?
not 53. No, 52.5 at FanDuel is the best it gets.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
when I bet unders, I usually wait late. I mean, I put this play out on an early show with Jimmy, and I think then it was like 51.5. Some of these numbers have moved against my totals early on, but usually if you bet unders, generally speaking, you want to bet them later in the week, unless like there's really some sharp money early in the week on there. Which there's not a ton of sharp money on this play right now, but I'm going to get to the window with it, at the higher number for sure. So I'm on the under here.
There you go. You got anything on this one, Wine Time?
Yeah, guys, just want to give a shout out to the chat real quick. I don't got everyone here because I'm on my phone, but shout out to T, Stami Gun Ricci, North Ender, Razor Sharp Picks, man. So many hard hitters in the chat right now. Love you guys. Thanks for coming out and supporting the show. Great breakdown, Rigru, honestly. This is another game I don't really have a play in. I love the breakdown, though. I love the under in this one. Florida State, just like Oklahoma, has a pretty good path to the college football playoff, and I think they're going to get there, honestly. They just have to keep winning these games. I was on Duke last week, got burned. Watched that first half, and I was just like, wow, it was a good look by me, and Duke just came out, couldn't get anything going with that backup quarterback. Second half, ended up losing the cover. Lost that game, I think, by like 20 points or something like that. I forgot what the exact score was. I'm going to stay off this game. I like the breakdown, though. I definitely see this as a more of a lower scoring game. I don't know how much Wake Forest is going to score in this one. I see the line's at 20.5 right now. I'm going to stay off this game, but I like the look on the under.
There it is right there. Doubled up on the under. Let's keep the show rolling, man. Next up, Oregon at Utah. This is a big game right here. Y'all probably social media'd out with every channel telling you this and that about this game and interviews and blah, 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 blah. But guess what? The game is played on the field, ladies and gentlemen, and you got to cap accordingly. So Oregon, this is earlier in the week, -6.5 with a 47.5. It's going to be taking place in Salt Lake City. So Utah gets the win against SC and comes home in their elements. And what happens here? Anybody who got something on this one other than me?
Yeah, guys. I just want to give a shout out to the Utah fans, man. I'm out here in Orange County. I've seen so many of them out here over the last week. They were out here for the USC game. Talked to a couple of them. Super cool people. They're just the Utes. They travel. With that being said, they're heading back to Utah, back to Salt Lake City. DJ, I did the show with you. I think it was week 3 or week 4 when I came on here from Salt Lake City when I was at that UCLA at Utah game. I'm going to tell you guys firsthand, the Utah Stadium is no joke. Those fans are loud. They're standing up every third down, every fourth down. They're screaming at the players. They're screaming at the opposing fans. It's a crazy place to play, a really cool place to play. That being said, I think this is going to be a very hostile environment. We saw Oregon going to Texas Tech week 2 or week 3 almost. Probably should have lost that game if it wasn't for a pick six. About under a minute left. Texas Tech was probably going to drive and go down and kick a field goal there in Lubbock. With that being said, this is an even more hostile place to play. There's elevation there. Bo Nix, I say this all the time, man. He's such a talented quarterback. He's the most experienced quarterback in college football. It comes down to facing the big-time programs, though. Can't really get it done. The big-time defenses can't really get it done. This is a big-time defense from Utah. Been talking about it in Jimmy's chat all week, just how these players buy into Kyle Whittingham's system. He gets his guys. He doesn't always get the 5-star athletes, always doesn't get the 4-star athletes, sometimes get the 3-star athletes, but they're his guys. They get in there, they buy into his system. He knows what he's talking about. He's been coaching there for almost 20 years, head coaching, been in the system for over 20 years. I got Utah +7 in this. I bought up to -125 because I wanted to get the full touchdown. I expect this one to be close. I expect Utah to win this game outright, but I do think it's going to come down to a field goal. Oregon might go down if they've got some time and kick a field goal with a certain amount of time left. We'll see on that one. But I moved on the Utah +6.5, -125. Also moved on the under. I think if Utah covers this game, the only way they do it is if they can hold Oregon to under 25 points. I think they can do it. This defensive line is going to be rushing Bo Nix. It is a good offensive line over there in Oregon, but I took the under 47.5. I see it's down to 47 right now. I endorse Utah. If you can get +6, if you want to take the +6.5, I endorse it. You want to take the under, I endorse it. I took both, but I see Utah covering this game.
There it is. There. Are you coming out west with this one, Big Ragu?
I like the game a lot to watch, but, but I tell you what, Utah is number one in time of possession in the NCAA, FBS period. A lot of top teams, top defense in the Pac-12. And Pac-12 is exciting this year. I keep saying every week I come on here, but USC, that you can say goodbye to them. But today's the game. This is it. I think whoever comes out. I think Washington. I don't know if I got to go back and look at the schedule, but whoever Washington plays left in the season out of these two teams, I think they got to play Utah. They're going to be in trouble. But the home field is huge here to wine time. You know what he was saying. That's Salt Lake atmosphere for the Utes. The fans they're absolutely insane. You know, they'll be on top of their heads, spinning on their heads in this game. So yeah, I see it a 1-score game. You know, I can see a 3 or 4 point number here in reality. You know, the thing about it is if Utah wins the time possession and they keep Bo Nix off the field, if they hold the ball for like 30, 35, 36 minutes, somewhere in that range, and they have the ball late going down, I see Utah, like he said, possibly stealing this game. But it'll be a barn burner for sure. So I definitely lean Utah side.
Well, me on the other side of things, I wanted to jump on Oregon right here. I think Oregon offense, it's just got that little click to it that could get past a tough defense like Utah. Maybe not by margin, but they should get past them for sure in this game right here. I'm pretty sure Utah fatigue, whatever, the spotlight, whatever, it pays its course going from LA back to Utah, so forth and so on. But they just announced this week, no Cam Rising for sure. That should be some way impactful, either on the good side or it could be on the bad side. But it's going to be impactful to how they play today. But more importantly, with a seasoned coach at Utah, he's going to play the game in his favor. He's not going to come out there and try to go score for score with Oregon. He's going to play Utah football. He's going to try to get Oregon to play Utah football. And I think in this one, I was going to go heavy on the side with Oregon, but I decided to jump on the under right here because earlier this week it was up to like 49. So I like the under in this spot right here. But it went down to 47.5. So I'm not sure. It's going to be a close game. I'm not saying Utah is going to not score at all, but Utah, touchdowns come at a price in Utah because it takes a lot of effort for them to get the ball in the end zone. And Oregon has a pretty good defense as well. But Oregon's offense, when they're clicking, they're clicking. So it could be one of those spots where Oregon's just like out clicking Utah, and Utah just does enough to manage the game and have a shot towards the end. In some way, Oregon prevails.
Right, and you hit the nail on the head. They do just enough to stay in the game and click these, come over the top. Look at that USC last week with that field goal. That was insane. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game without a doubt.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to this one.
I'm gonna watch it for a live look on the under if I can get it if they score early or something like that. But I'm not silly as it sounds. I'm not comfortable at 47 with the under still. So I threw Oregon in the parlay. So I have Oregon money line in a parlay with a couple. I'll tell y'all later about my parlay of the day. But anything else on this game, guys?
No.
Let's keep it moving. Next up, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, of course, right here on the Boston Shots. I have to take this game and throw it on my shoulders. Notre Dame minus a solid 20.5. I think it went up to 21 this morning. I'm not sure what the over and under is. I have 44.5. Let's see, it's up to 45.5. Well, yeah, up to 45. So not much movement on the total or the side. People kind of sticking by their side. So traditionally, Pittsburgh has been able to step up and play Notre Dame at home. At least first half, make it look like some type of effort or something. We slipped up to this team quite a few times, but we've done good versus these ACC teams this year. I think it was like 6-1 or something like that last time we faced one of those in the last 7 games. But so I think Notre Dame definitely will win. Marcus Freeman, he usually goes above and beyond on the road when he can. At home, tradition is, we beat these guys and get them out of here. We're not looking for stumping them out or nothing like that. And the total kind of implicates that as well. We still haven't had Hartman Day for him to show up and show out. I don't know if we're going to get him. So I'm going to bet against that. We're not going to get Hartman Day where he just all of a sudden blossoms because this Pittsburgh defense is feisty. Pittsburgh, they play teams for a little while and stay in the game. They don't just get all the way stumped out like that. So I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh plus the 20.5 today versus Notre Dame. We keep it nice, winning by 16, 11, 12. That's perfect for us. We just need to keep winning so that we could probably have a shot with 2 losses, maybe if some of these teams beat up on themselves. So I'm taking Pittsburgh plus the 20.5. What y'all got on this game?
You got anything, Juan?
I don't have anything on this game. I do think it's a lot of points for Notre Dame to cover. I'm gonna stay away from this game. I didn't really look at this one too much. I'm not gonna lie. I do see a low total in this one. Kind of makes me think that neither points are gonna come at a price. So I might lean at that under. I'm not sure if it's still at 44.5. I see it right here. I would move on that under though. I think that's low for a reason for these 2 ACC teams, honestly. Yeah, I know Notre Dame's got a great defense, but I mean that's still a really low total. Sorry.
Hey, I'm not really comfortable with it. You calling us an ACC team?
Easy now, easy. Hey, I got a little play on it. I got a little play on this game. When I was on with Jimmy early in the week, I kind of moved early on this one too. I've never seen this happen before, but I was looking at team totals here. I said, that's a low damn number because I mean it kind of correlates with what if you like the over, then you think Notre Dame or you think Pittsburgh's going to put a couple more points on the board here to kind of sneak it over that total. But if you like the under, then it correlates with Notre Dame, holding them down to nothing basically. I mean, last year, 45-3. I'm not last year, a couple years ago, like 2020 was the last time these 2 teams played, 45-3, and then every other time they scored north of 10 points. So early on, this total was sitting like at 9.5 points, and it's sitting at 10.5 now. So I think like you said, I think Pittsburgh can do enough, to get under the 20.5, which they should. And if they're going to do that, they're going to have to score a couple points here and there, right? So I just put myself on a Pittsburgh team total over 10.5 points here. I think they can get 13, 14 points in this game. I think they can score twice to kind of put them over that 10.5. When I say twice, I'm not talking field goal and touchdown. I'm talking like two touchdowns or maybe 2 field goals and a touchdown. I think they go north of about 12, 13 points here. So, and I still think the game can stay under too. Because like you said, Pittsburgh defense, even though if you've been back in Pittsburgh, in a 1-5-1 ATS, in a way they're 0-3. Straight up, obviously, because their win record, they're 2-5 on the season. So. They've got a couple wins at home. That's about it. But, yeah, I mean, it's not a great spot for them, but I think they can muster up enough points. It's not one of my stronger plays, but it's a lower number. I usually get involved when I see, like, these single digits against, semi-rival teams. They usually kind of creep over that number. Georgia, South Carolina, I've done Cal, and I think Notre Dame was one I hit earlier on. So here we go again. So come on, Pitt. Get 12, 13 points today.
Yeah, I like the over on that too because that's we're looking for definition in a lot of spots. We're looking for definition at wideout. We're still looking for definition at quarterback. We know what the offensive line can do. We know what the running backs can do. So we're at home. That's when you get a chance to start testing those areas. So I see, Notre Dame putting up some points, but that our defense looks wonderful. It's physical and everything, but we got spots like everybody else. And like you said, Pitt gets in the end zone 2 times in this game. So I kind of endorse the over too, but I'm gonna stay off the total because my old beliefs is that we take care of the games at home and we don't try to blow people out, so we don't score much. So usually the home games are under. But Marcus Freeman has proved me wrong. He's marked the Ohio State, kick him in the ass and keep going.
Yeah, they're tough, man.
Over here.
Notre Dame is tough, man. Their season, they play the trench game better than anybody else. They play with top teams in the country in the trenches any day of the week. So, I hear you on that.
Absolutely. But let's keep it going. We good to keep going?
Yes, sir.
Next up, Duke and Louisville, another big game of the day. Last week at the end of the show, we made sure that we gave y'all some picks from some big games. This week, we kind of covering most of the big games right here. So really exciting week in football, Duke versus Louisville. But I think it's been a while since Duke been this talented, just period overall. And the new coach over here at Louisville is playing them like they playing out of their minds. They playing like the Kansas and TCUs of last year. So what do y'all got on this game? I'm staying far away from these two.
I got a little look on the spot here. We all know what happened last week with Duke and FSU and Leonard. That's the X factor today is Leonard. Is he go? Isn't I'm capping the game like he is going somewhat, but then again, in the back of my mind was if he doesn't go, then I love the spot for Duke for sure. But either way, I still like the spot for Louisville. Louisville's done a lot of nice things this season. They have a good running game, solid running game that could rack up some points and some yardage. They've got Jack Plummer, he's been turning the ball over a little bit, more than I like to do and like to see. But this is you talk about a well-coached team. This team is well-coached with Brom. They do it on both sides of the ball. They're sitting at 6-1. They did it quietly early on. They're undefeated at home. Now this is a question mark for Duke. Do they pick themselves up and kind of because you see this a lot in college football where a team gets beat and they don't respond the following week. And it's not that they played a bad game against FSU, but that was kind of a physical beatdown type of game. And here you got Louisville, sitting ready off a bye after losing to Pittsburgh, getting one stole from them. They're raring to go here. So a lot of stuff they got going on offensively, defensively. If they can run the ball early, establish the run, which I think they can against this is another trench type battle here. The Duke's defense, which is a top-rated, top 4 defense against the run game against Louisville. So if Louisville can establish the run, I think it's going to be a long day for Duke, believe it or not. So I think Duke's going to – I think it's a tough spot for Duke. I think it's a perfect spot for Louisville. So that puts me on Louisville. I know the numbers kind of ticked down a little bit. It was 4.5. Now it's sitting at 4. I'm comfortable with that. I don't have a problem there. So I think two well-coached teams, two athletic teams. This is probably one of the top 2 games of the day. If you want to watch a good football game, watch this game. I'm taking Louisville here, -4.
There it is right there. Wine time, you got something on this one?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you said it best, Ragu. Louisville kind of went under the radar the first 6 games this season. Didn't play a lot of competition. Kind of had a weaker schedule. They're one of the teams. They're one of the teams I looked at in the beginning of the year for futures. Their futures was over. I didn't end up taking it, but it was over 8 wins, -125. And I looked at their schedule and I was like, there's only maybe 2 games that they could lose on this schedule. Came out. Jack Plummer, the transfer from Cal. Kid can sling it around the field. He joined his offensive coordinator from, I believe, where he went to, I want to say Purdue. I'm not 100% on that, but that was his offensive coordinator there. So he got him in the transfer protocol. He's got a good running back in Jahair Jordan. That kid's legit. He's one of the best running backs in the ACC. He's not the biggest guy, but he moves quick. He's fast. He gets in between those holes. He might break off for a couple big runs here. I wanted to take Louisville so bad all week. The news of Riley Leonard, I see the line went up to 6. I think it was last night or this morning when I looked. So that kind of makes me think that Leonard's not going to play in this one. Yeah. I want to parlay Louisville money line with something else, another -200 or -300, try to get the odds down to like -110. I'm going to try to look into doing that. But I did take the under in this one at 46.5 -110. I see it down to 46 right now at most places. I don't know if Duke is going to really be able to get the score. Louisville's got a really good defense, and it's one of the hardest places to play in college football. I saw a stat that it is the hardest place to play in college football, which surprised me kind of because I didn't think of Louisville as that kind of program. But if you see the home games, they really show out there. I think they're going to really show out there today. I expect this to be more of like a 27-10 type game, which doesn't favor Louisville. I moved on the under, haven't moved on Louisville yet. I might get there with them in a money line parlay. I don't want to lay this 6, I believe
6.5
what it
some
is now.
spots now.
Yeah, I mean it's going up for a reason though. Louisville should take care of business here, especially with no Leonard. That quarterback couldn't get anything going. I mean, he was going against a good Florida State defense. Don't get me wrong. Louisville's got a good defense too, and I think they can hold them down. And if it comes down to in the trenches, I think Louisville's going to play better. So give me the under 46.5 minus 110. If you can get the 46 still, I still endorse that.
My man T says, get that Louisville playing now before Leonard is confirmed out the lineup. Louisville -6 now.
Yeah.
There it is.
When you getting close to 6.5, 7s, it gets a little dicey, 4, I got, like I say, 4.5, 4s, I got it early in the week, but I still endorse it under a touchdown. If Leonard's out, and you can get it under a touchdown, take it.
There it is there. Let's keep the show rolling. Iowa State, Baylor, Big 12 play. This would have been like a great matchup way back in the day, but now these teams are not playing as such in this day and age, but it's always a rival. I think this game is some type of has a name behind it or something. I'm not sure. But Iowa State, Baylor, always a good game in the Big 12. Iowa State -2.5. The over-under is 47.5. No way would I take this game in Waco, Texas today, but somebody on this panel will.
Yeah, well, this is a play I gave out early in the week, and it comes down to this. And they're both in my book. They're both equal as far as where they're at in the season. We've seen Campbell for all these years. He's been at the head coach at Iowa State. We had him paid for NFL a couple years back. When the ex-Baylor coach Rule left, we figured one of those two guys would go, and it was Rule that went to the Panthers. Now he's back in Nebraska. But Matt Campbell decided to hang around, and I could see why. He's got a cushy job there, and nothing's really changed as far as his talent recruiting level goes. They're always like a mediocre squad. Baylor's kind of been up and down. We've seen them peak, with RG3. We've seen them, talk about college football playoffs possibly a couple years ago. And then when they got the coach from LSU, the current coach, we figured they would step up things defensively, which they really haven't. They were more of an offensive team, and now they're kind of leveled off a little bit here. But Sharpen, the QB, he's not a top tier quarterback, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12. But he's real spotty. And what Iowa State does, they're a team that they're kind of like, I'm not going to call them Iowa because they're not that, they don't score as least points, but they do score in the lower 20s. They're not, they score average about 21, 22 points a game. And Iowa, the other Iowa team does a little bit beneath that. But we know what we get with Iowa State. Baylor is the team that kind of jumps up and down the board a little bit here at me. But historically, with this, like I said, in this matchup, we've seen some tight games go down the road. I think the wrong team's favorite here. I really do. I think Sharpen, if he has a decent game today, he could take down this Iowa State squad. At home, this has been their demise, though. This is why they're probably not, the favorite at home. They're 1-4 at home. They played better on the road. But I think they've kind of turned the corner a little bit because if you look at what they've done, they on the road they beat Cincinnati last week, right? At home they lost to Texas Tech mightily. They got destroyed 14-39, and they beat a pretty good UCF squad in Orlando 36-35. So if they shine offensively here, which I think they can, I think this is a good spot to catch Baylor at a decent price. So I'm going to be on the money line side of here. I think I've seen some 138s. Early in the week, it was plus 120. So you know how people go to the window bet favorites late, public plays or whatnot. So I'm looking at taking Baylor on the money line here. I'm not going to take the 2.5. I'm going to take them straight up plus 135.
There you go, right there. Some of that good old plus money. Ain't nothing like that plus money.
Yes, sir.
check out my guy Tease in the chat. He put his plays up in there. If anybody else got plays in the chat, go ahead and put them up. We love to
I'm
go over
fighting
each
peace
one.
on that one. I see he likes the money line on Iowa State. So good luck to you, my friend.
There it is. There, he messing with the boss and the sauce. Let's go into the last game on the house card today. One of my games, Mountain West, where I do it the best. It was crazy because I couldn't really find a solid spot on it, and I've been, when all else fails, I have picks in Mountain West, but this week was a little bit different, and I had crossed this game out and I was looking at the San Jose State game in Hawaii, and I'm like, it's kind of a bum fight. Who knows what's going to happen with that game? Cordero coming back against Hawaii, his old team. It could go either way in that one. But then I seen this game right here, and I said, wow, this might be one I want to get into. This is the big game in the Mountain West today. My man Craig Boyle has a rough time with Boise, but somehow Craig Boyle has a pretty good team this year. I mean, much as I hate Peasley, he's been able to rise to the occasion, run the ball at times, keep the ball moving, score points, stuff that Wyoming hasn't did in a long time. Wyoming, and they still advancing on the defensive side of the ball as well. So Wyoming looking kind of tough out there. Boise State, on the other hand, they've been kind of rocky, back and forth with the quarterback on offense. Nothing defies them on defense, not the defensive line, not that they just kind of do what they have to do to get jobs done when they can. When they can't, they can't. They just been kind of all over the place. It's even been some talks of if Andy Avalos' time is up. I mean, he's only been in there like 3 years, but he is one of those coaches that, he just leveled up from where he was in the whole scheme of things, the head coach. So they might be one to step out there and try something different. I mean, could you imagine a big name coach or something at Boise State? Imagine if Boise State got Matt Rule a year ago or something. Who knows, with the recruiting that they do get, who knows how far they can go. But that's just a whole bunch of jarring because when it comes down to it in today's game, I like Wyoming. The biggest factors in this game is Whaley for the running back for Wyoming, and George Halani, who we haven't seen much all year at Boise State. Now, when Halani shows up, Halani they have like a high winning record when he actually plays, but I don't think he's going to play again. Um, it's more probable that Whaley plays because he played a little banged up before. But Whaley is just phenomenal running the ball. I don't know if it's his vision or like he just finds the sleek way to find holes, and then he has speed. He can break away and pull away from you and all that good stuff. So I really like Whaley. Whaley shows up today. Wyoming wins it on the money line. Without Whaley in today, I think they put up a good enough product to stay close in this game and go to the end and either win or maybe this game comes down to a field goal is what I'm trying to say. And I'm taking that 5 points. The over and under is 48 and a half. I would lean more towards the overs, especially if we can get one of those running backs to play. I think either team could beat the other team on offense and defense. So it's going to be some scoring, I guess you could say. But I'm right here with the Wyoming plus 5 points in my pocket today. And I also took them in my ooh-wee parlay of the day, which is Oklahoma, O for Oklahoma, O for Oregon, and W for Wyoming, all on the money line. I put that parlay in. I forgot what I got. I think it was plus. I forgot what I got.
What is it? Over Oklahoma?
No, it's Oklahoma money line,
Money line,
Oregon money line, and Wyoming money line. I'm getting Wyoming plus 170, Oklahoma's minus 340, and Oregon's minus 225. And I forgot what that equaled, but that is my parlay here today.
It's a backwards woo.
Yeah, it's a backwards woo. There we go. But yeah, that's it for the day on those. Let's jump over into some off topic stuff and let's bring in my guy Ramon for that
Sir.
daily.
Hey, I got a quick comment on your game there. I got
Go
a quick
for it.
comment.
Go for it.
I'm going to be with you on the Wyoming side too. 2 road games, L's, right? Texas and Air Force, 2 pretty good quality teams, both covered. They were double digits getting in that game, both of those games. But I agree with you too. I lean the over too. Time of possession, I think goes Wyoming's way. Defense turnovers wise goes their way. So, but they do allow a lot of yards on the game on the ground. So that's the other thing. So if they rush for over 200 yards, which they've given up the past few games, that might be trouble for them. But I don't think Boise's built that way. But anyways, good luck on the parlay, my man. I back the Wyoming side and the over.
Yeah, not to mention that this is laying for the Mountain West Championship game. A win right here for Wyoming means a lot. But let's bring our guy Ramon in for some FCS, some more stuff.
Sir.
More stuff. How you feeling today? You had a good show this morning. What's going on with you, Ramon? How was the high school game this week?
Well, it was the final week of the regular season for high school football, so just looking forward to get those playoff pairings in and match them up and move from there. But I don't know if you were going to cover any more, and I see you talking about that Wyoming Boise. I'm here in Vegas. Everybody's really excited about this UNLV situation right now, just because of how dismal it's been, guys, for years with this program. And what I've equated it to, they get to play in that beautiful stadium. It's close to the campus. It's not an on-campus facility or anything, but it's state of the art. Everyone agrees that stadium. It's kind of like the Raiders. You know what? I mean, being a Charger fan, yeah, I'm kind of down on the Raiders sometimes. Sure, am I going to be on the Raiders half the time and bet? Of course. Am I still fond of Al Davis to a certain extent? Maybe I still got a soft spot for Al, even though he tried to screw us over and he gave Gene Klein a heart attack and tried to kill him. That's okay. The stadium that they have, the Raiders have, they can put some lipstick on the pig. And even the Raiders, I said, you know what, even Mark Davis can't screw this up. Well, you know what, maybe he has, but at least the Rebels get to play there. And I think they'll get to draw a little bit from, because, this Mountain West situation, Big Boss, unfortunately, it's going to unravel and deteriorate a little bit. Not the league, but because of everything we've talked about and what's happening with the Pac-12 and all those teams leaving. So I think the Rebels can get a certain type of recruit, a certain level of West Coast recruit that can keep them relevant in the Mountain West in the future, I think, because of that facility to a certain extent. It's a drawing point for UNLV in a conference which the drawing points for the other places, quite frankly, are the scenic beauty. Yeah, there's some good, okay programs in the Mountain West and whatnot, but there's not a lot of things to draw on necessarily for a certain level of athlete. I think UNLV, they're in that big game today. They're 9-point underdogs, but no reason why they shouldn't be able to compete, I would think, today against Fresno in that game. The way the things have gone this season for the Rebels, it's pretty neat to see.
I like it too, but I was staying away from that. UNLV got a lot to prove over there, but they look good. I like Barry Odom. So far, so good. But
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
let's go into a couple big games today that we didn't mention. This one especially because we have our specialist here today, and I hadn't heard him talk much about it. And are you playing this UCLA Colorado game, wine time? Please let the people know they want to know what's going on.
Yes, sir. No, as of right now, guys, I don't have a play on this one. I really wanted to get out there. Tickets are crazy expensive today. It's pretty wild. It's supposed to be the first sellout at the Rose Bowl, and I don't even know. Maybe two. Maybe. I mean, they're still gonna have the tarps up. Some of them, don't get me wrong. There's expecting 70,000, which
wow,
is
everybody's going to see the Bruins on one time.
Right?
Everybody wants to see this Bruins team. Oh my god.
No, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see the crowd that's there. I'm hoping that there's a lot of Bruins fans there. It's a big spread. I see it down to 15.5 now, guys. Kind of wild to me. So I was watching all the interviews this week. Chip Kelly kept getting asked, like, what made you go with Garbers? He said Dante Moore was banged up the week before. That was the reason why he didn't get a full practice run. You asked me, Ethan Garbers looked like the guy. With that being said, Stanford does have the worst passing defense in college football, so we can't really judge him too much off of that. Colorado's got a really bad defense as well. I think whoever goes out there at quarterback, UCLA wins this game. It's going to be tough to cover this spread unless they can put their foot on the gas and just keep going. But it's going to be hard. I mean, we've got those two really good running backs, Carson Steele and TJ Hardy. You know, they're going to be used a lot in this one. We'll see if any of them can get off for some big yardage today. I was looking at the under. I had it written down. I didn't take it. 61.5. Still haven't taken it yet. But you know what? I did take a little, I forgot I did give out this. So I took a 14 money line parlay, guys. I like to do this usually every Saturday. I take 3 or 4 big favorites and I put them in a parlay for -105, -110. Kind of weird. I do, and it's kind of worked out for me this year. So I took UCLA on the money line -700, USC on the money line -350, Ohio State on the money line -660, Air Force University -550, money line parlay for -105. I expect all 4 of those teams to win. I've been hearing a lot of people backing Cal this week against USC because of, how USC has been performing the last couple of weeks. We saw Caleb Williams, at the Laker game this week. We'll see how much his head is into this. I don't think he's going to need too much of his head in this one, though, because Cal is not a good football team. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not good by any means. I expect USC to win that one, too. Ohio State, I expect them to hammer Wisconsin as well. I know it's in Wisconsin, but Ohio State, they're going to keep it rolling until they get to the college football playoff. And you got Air Force, man. They've just been keeping it rolling all year. What a move for them to move into a bigger conference for them. So yeah, I did take a little something on that. Little money on parlay. It was -105 for those 4 teams.
There we go, my man Weinstein giving them all the goods. Before we get to going, Don Play wants to know, Ramon, what's up with the FCS? You got something
Well, let me
going
just
on
roll
over
it
there?
real quick. I know we got to get out of here, and I'm going to stick to some.
No rush, man. Take your time.
Yeah, no rush today. We're
Well,
good.
Yeah, no rush.
Right, we're just half an hour from kickoff, from big noon, big noon kickoff. And hey, everybody's talking down on the card this week. This is the ones we want, guys. This is the ones we're going to attack, right? Everybody's saying, "Oh, this week the games aren't great." Let me roll through. I'm gonna try 3 sides this week. Maybe the totals were a little off there with what I've given you. So Duquesne here on the road. Let's lay at least. They might lay as many as 6. I think you can get it cheaper. Sacred Heart comes in just 1-7. So we're taking Duquesne on the road here. They're 4-3, and they're laying probably 5 or 4.5 on the road against Sacred Heart. I'm going to take Yale. It looks like the Ivies is where I've been most successful here on the show. So let's lay 10 points with Yale against Columbia, even though I did take an L last night. Big upset, guys. Brown got it against Penn, played a real tough game. Penn, a double-digit favorite, and they were playing with revenge last night. Brown really did a number there to compete with Penn, but I'm going to take Yale here. We're going to lay 10 points. Yale comes in 3-3, and Columbia comes in 2-4. We're seeing a real big move on the total here. A lower scoring game expected. The totals move from 38.5 up to 41. I believe it's because I do expect Yale in this one, maybe a 2-touchdown victory for me as the way I saw it. So when I saw that total on the move, I was ready to go with Yale. You might be able to get 9.5, actually. One other side here for me is going to be Holy Cross on the road at Fordham. This is one of the best matchups of the early slate. Holy Cross, though, is laying. Oh boy, this was getting away from me now. I'm showing it up to 9.5 at Bet Online, and some of the other shops are still stuck at 8.5 or 9. So, looks like I'm on a steamer here. Holy Cross will have to win this one by double digits. Didn't see that move coming there, but maybe just over the last few minutes we've been on the air. I know I'm on some hot sides here. No doubt that's the way I play this with the FCS. Holy Cross, let's lay up to 10 points at Fordham. 1 total I'll stick with. I'll back off a little bit after 2 losses with you guys on totals. But my best total of the morning shift here is Stonehill and Wagner to go under in this one. Current number here is at 40. They're cutting me off here. Okay, Stonehill and Wagner under 40. It's on the move higher. We're getting the best number here, 40 right now. I'm seeing 41 at DraftKings. So we're going under Stonehill and Wagner, a low total. Thanks, you guys. Oh gosh, you're great, Big Boss. Thank you so much for doing that there. And yeah, it was funny wine time talking about Williams, and I made the joke on one of the shows that we were on. He obviously is focused. He's obviously got his focus on the Bears. He's sitting halftime, or he's sitting courtside at the Laker game. Ragu and Big Boss Caleb Williams sitting courtside. He's working on professional team ownership.
Here's you, Williams.
Yeah,
good luck with that, my friend.
Already working on his his
I'll win some football games first.
I would actually. I know what you're saying. One time, look at USC. I'm putting them on upset alert. Watch out, man. Cal could get you this week. I think we talk about all those teams. It's something I brought up every time. Pretty much, we've talked now 3 or 4 times. But I think I'm more interested to see how Cal and Stanford do in the ACC than I am about all the teams that are doing well and how it might fare for them. I mean, it's already continued to be talked up this week, guys. And I know Big Boss and I, and we're West Coast centric, Ragu, but obviously with the unprecedented run this conference is having, they'll have to finish strong and prove it going in next year. But if they can win some of these bowl games, it'll make for a great storyline heading into the future down, with the demise of the conference. But I don't know, I'm looking forward to the Cal Clemson rivalry. And
hey, how about this? How about the new name for the conference, the WAC, the West Atlantic Coast?
There we go.
Bring the WAC back into play. Remember the old WAC?
Yeah, the old WAC. Bring the WAC back.
And then we'll have the playoff with the teams, and we'll call it the WAC. No, wait, we won't.
Oh wow! Okay,
See, the joke's already starting.
All right. No, look. Maybe they'll be okay in those. I don't know what you could do about some of these and what are we going to do out here with the Mountain West and Pac-12? Like I said, I mean, technically the Pac-12 has that big name, but they've only got 2 teams. I guess you could scrap all the deal the Mountain West has with CBS. They're the one with the TV contract. That's why this has happened. The Pac-12 did not have. I mean, they have their Fox, but their main package, they were trying to do it on their own. They got greedy.
Could never watch them. It sucked, honestly, watching Pac-12 games on the Pac-12 network. No one gets them. It's really hard to get Pac-12 network. It's awful, honestly.
They could actually be ahead of the time. Like, how we're getting more and more things are app related, right? Everyone's doing different ways. So maybe that is the way to go eventually. Conferences having their own. Why wouldn't you want to control everything from the advert? Why would you want to? Now, granted, distribution still runs through cable and all the national. That's where the most of the money's still going to be. But who knows, 5-10 years down the line when we're pushing our rockers a little bit, where it'll be, but things will probably be distributed differently then. So that's what's happened here with that. And what could they call the conference with the Mountain West and the Pac? You can't, this one, Big Boss, the Pac West, that's already taken. That's a Division II conference here on the West. So I don't know. I guess you could give me
the Pac Mountain. The Pac Mountain.
Pac Mountain.
There you go.
There you go.
Because those 2 teams are going to have to find a way in with the other team. That's just all there is.
I hope so, man. They're 2 good programs that they need it. They need to find a home somewhere, man. I hope they do. I think they will.
Look, Washington State. Oregon State. Look, they kind of maybe they fit in with with some of those Mountain West. Yeah, are they a little bit bigger name? But they're stuck now.
Yes. Wow. When it comes to the business side of the NCAA football, it's bad enough. It's bad enough they don't even got a video game no more. Now this.
I know.
But let's I got a couple more I wanted to go over before we get out of here. The big games of the day. Georgia at Florida. Anybody got anything? I say
this game lost all its luster, man. Where is it? Where's all the luster on this game? It's gone. This was the game of the day. Game of the day. Every usually you play the first week in November too, so they push it back a week. I don't have anything on that game. Zero.
I don't have anything on this either. North Ender actually hit me up, and what did I think about Florida plus 14? If I was going to move on any of this side, I would move on Florida plus 14 just because it's at home. I don't know what the weather's like down there in Florida right now, Rigu,
nice.
but
it's nice. Degrees, 80 degrees.
Is it humid?
No.
No, okay. I was going to say, if it's humid down there, I don't know how Georgia's going to play, but I know down there in Florida, they've got a pretty good home field advantage with all that.
Well, this
I'm going to stay.
It's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is the cocktail party. This is a neutral site game. But
okay, gotcha.
There is, it's arguable that Florida does get about 60% of the crowd in Jacksonville, but right now, just a class. It feels like a class difference. I want to lop off that hook, but I'd probably still be interested in Georgia at this point. I'd even be willing to buy it. Get it off that 14.5. Just make sure you get the right. You can only bet it once, and no reason to sit there with that hook. I don't care about what anybody says about laying some extra juice. I know, we want to buy points, 20, 30 cents, whatever, off a 3 or a 7, but I'm buying 5. I'm buying a half a point off of 14 every time. Promise.
That's a whole different animal.
Promise you on that.
I think the good spot in that game is first half because Georgia's been known to slack a first half. Florida, playing it at their home stadium, they might have a shot at covering something first half, but I'm not getting to the window with it. Next up, Weinstein mentioned this game. Ohio State and Wisconsin. Wisconsin has a lot to prove with first-year Coach Fickle, and Ohio State been playing some battles. They might be in that spot where, like Notre Dame was when they finally took their first loss. They were just exhausted from the competition that they had ahead of them, and it got to the best of them. So I think this could be an upset on some point of view, but at the same time, if Ohio State don't get you in the first half, they'll get you in the second half. So it's a tough game. I'm off of it. Anybody got anything other than what Weinstein said earlier? You want to recap that, Weinstein?
Yeah, so I actually took Ohio State on the money line. It was minus 660 when I got it. I got UCLA minus 800, USC minus 350, Air Force minus 500. A lot of big favorites, guys. I just don't see any of these 4 teams losing these games. Wisconsin might play Ohio State tough for a little bit, but I think Ohio State wins that game by 10 points or more. So, yeah, other than that, I'm off that. But another game, guys, just want a quick little pick because I don't know if we're going to talk about this one. Indiana and Penn State, I took the under 46. I think Penn State's going to be lights out on defense. Indiana might not score. Indiana has one of the worst offenses in the Big 10. They finally figured out a quarterback situation. I think they're going with Sorensby now. It's not really clicking over there. Tom Allen's a defensive coach as well, so I can see him hopefully getting some stops on Penn State, but I took the under 46 in this one, minus 110. Just a quick one.
There it is there. No, I didn't have much more, but I got everybody's plays back down. Let me run through the plays real quick. For Big Ragu, we have them down, and this is straight off y'all Twitter. So FSU, Wake Forest, under 51.5, Pitt, team total over 10.5, and Louisville minus 4. You okay with those? Say what?
On. 6.5. And there's still not to interrupt you, still question marks on Leonard playing. So like I said, if he's under a touchdown and he's out, lay it. Lay the 6.
Yeah, I was prepared earlier in the week. Next up, Wine Time full picks off his Twitter. Make sure you go follow him if you don't. Wine Time, Indiana, PSU under 46, Utah plus 7, Utah, Oregon under 47.5, Duke, Louisville under 46, NC State plus 10, and Arizona plus 3. That Arizona pick, boy, Arizona's been under the radar too.
They're covering machine. They're a covering machine right now.
Yeah,
the only question mark there is who's going to start at quarterback. I don't think it matters. I think both those kids are so talented. Jaden Delore, man, I saw him go into the Rose Bowl last year. I was at that game and just see him torch our secondary. Kid's so talented. They got a kid that plays very similar to him. Either quarterback they go with, I expect them to stay in this game. It's at home. Oregon State's always better at home. They're not as good on the road. Their one loss was on the road this year. I believe it was in Washington State. Yeah, I like it. I like the Arizona +3. I wish I got it on the 4.5, but I'll take the +3 still.
Maybe I just feel bad for Delora, and he's been, banged up all year, so you lose confidence a little bit. But I said on my show today, I almost preferred Fafita in there tonight. But,
it's tough. Me too. I think I'd prefer Fafita too, just because he's been in there the last couple of weeks, and he's been really controlling this offense good. He looks good. He's a small quarterback. He's like 5'10". I didn't even realize he's a 4-star quarterback out of Servite High School right here. Graduated there, I believe it was 2021. So yeah, kid's talented.
I got 2 parting shots.
That's my man, Dave Rogers, Amarada, Servite. Let's wonder if he's on that today.
Yep.
And my picks right here: Oklahoma first half -5.5. When I got it 4.5 too this morning. Pittsburgh +20.5. Oregon, Utah under 49. It's all the way down to 47 now, so I'm kind of off the total. I got a money line play with Oregon, and then Wyoming +5, and I also got a money line in my play of the game, or play of the day. And my man Ramon always comes and gives us the goods on every show. FCS play, Duquesne -5, Yale -10, Holy Cross -9.5, and Stonehill Wagner under 40. Those are our plays, and we thank everybody. Anybody got any closing remarks? I'm gonna let y'all close. You go ahead.
Ragu had something, I thought.
Yeah, I got two quick team totals I want to throw out there. Everybody get to the window. Miami lights up Virginia after that big win on the road. They go back on the road and play Miami down in South Florida. Take the Hurricanes over 33 points. And then USC gets shut down by UCLA. I mean, not USC. Colorado gets a kibosh by UCLA's defense today, under 21.5 points. They hold them down. You see what Oregon did to them at the house up there. UCLA says, we're not having no part of it either. Shuts them down, under 21.5. Colorado today.
Hey, you know what I think of these picks, Big Boss?
What's that? There we go.
Let's go.
Fireworks, baby. Look out.
Hey, who said they can't teach an old dog new tricks? There it is there.
Well,
anything else before we go? Wine time?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. It's a blast joining you guys every Saturday. Let's keep it going. Let's keep cashing these tickets. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to you, DJ. Shout out to you, Big Ragu. Shout out to Ramon. Ramon, I've been seeing you everywhere on these live streams the last couple of days. Love to see it, man. Let's keep it going.
More Ramon.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, appreciate you guys for having me as always, man. I'll see you guys next week.
There it is. There. I don't have much to say, but I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out again. Win, lose, or draw, we keep coming back to the board, and that's all that matters. Us, the chat, and everybody else who loves us, man. Who-Bangin. We're gonna keep everybody together in the future. Everybody have some fun. Look out for my man Damon. I'm not sure. I was tuned out yesterday, but I believe he's supposed to be coming on sometime today with his DFS picks for NFL. So be looking out for him and Hebrew Hammer. They do a good job at that. But I'm gonna take this call from Grandma Franklin before we get out of here.
Hey, boss, hi, baby. This Grandma Franklin. I'm just hanging out, me and my homegirl. She wanted to say hi to you because she said you was spying on that podcast the other day, baby. Say hi to him, baby. Here we go right here. Say hi to him.
What's that?
So, me just hanging out, baby. Give us a call back. If you ain't busy, Grandma, I'm over here at the convalescent home hanging out in the back. Okay? And your favorite is here. You know that.